I think I got it this
Korea's
time.
out.
I think I actually got it this time. We should be going live.
Did you guys watch the Nick Gage episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
I did. I fucking loved it. I mean, it's
I
sad.
haven't even finished.
But I loved it.
I died laughing at David Arquette's "Don't cut me, man." I'm like, bro, you're going up against Nick fucking Gage. What do you think he's gonna do?
I absolutely loved it. Like, no lie. I love that Nick Gage is getting so much like run these days. It's amazing.
Bro,
did you see the thing that Devin put up?
Him?
Yeah. Him and
Oh
Matt
my
Cardona.
God.
But Cardona is supposed to be in a show in Chicago on the same day. So either this is a bullshit rumor or that show got canceled. We don't know yet. And he's replacing it with this match against Nick Gage.
I guess wait and see.
Yeah, it's totally wait and see. And yes, we are live. We have been live for a whole 51 fucking seconds. It's amazing.
Sweet.
I can't believe it took me that long to actually get us up there. But yes, we are there. And I'm going to start putting out these posts and these tweets that I had set up. I even used like one of our old ass first logos because I'm calling it Flashback. I used the Taco Bell logo.
I almost ate Taco Bell today.
I almost did too. We ended up coming home and cooking, but I was seriously considering stopping. We had it the other. Going to Fridays instead. We had it the other day. Like we had it like right after you had the root canal, and I didn't want to say anything to you about it because I was afraid you'd be like all upset because you could barely eat.
I'm sorry, but I hate Taco Bell.
Oh damn, Devin's here already. What's up, man? Wow.
Oh, he's waiting for.
He's ready, raring to go. He's just dying to hear.
Yeah, he's waiting to hear the whole. Oh, why do I hate Taco Bell? I don't know. I guess there's just really, really, really good Mexican restaurants down here in Florida. I can only imagine why.
Yeah, I mean, there's good.
But Taco Bell's fucking nasty.
Taco Bell's delicious. What are you talking about?
Oh,
where is it? Here it is.
You're like drunk as fuck at 2 a.m. That shit's delicious.
Mm-hmm. And you order a quesadilla. There you go, Brucey.
I'm trying to pull it. It's not. I blank right now.
Oh,
hold on.
Wendy's laughing again. She loves it.
It always cracks me up. Oh my god.
Maybe I'll just share it live on YouTube and show everyone.
Well, let me. Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
I need that on a t-shirt.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
He thought.
I couldn't that's some fucked up shit right there, Dom.
It popped in my head, and I was up one night. I couldn't sleep, so I got on my phone. I found the photo and I put the face.
And Wendy, you're laughing.
Yes, Taco Bell is definitely drunk food, Devin. That's
you're supposed to be my favorite little brother.
Oh shit, Sam, it's the funniest. I want
it's the funniest shit.
So fucking bad.
No.
You know, if you made that picture with my face on it and it said Dom, you'd be laughing your ass off, but it's you.
No, you're right. I would. I would.
But see, I didn't put it. I've had it for like a week. I haven't put it on social media. I haven't done anything with it. I just showed it to Wendy and she laughed. And I was like, I thought so.
She hasn't stopped.
It's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's hysterical.
It's fucking hilarious.
All right.
For any of you wrestling buffs out there who may be wondering what the picture's about, think about the early days of TNA and who Miss TNA was at a point.
Like
just
pay-per-view weekly TNA.
Just Google that shit. And then you might get an idea. I don't want to put it out there because I'm sure Brucey doesn't want me to put it out there. So I'm not going to do it. I
hate you both.
Oh, it's done out of love. All right. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
I need my trusty soundboard. Give me 1 sec. Okay. We're good. All right. Let's do this shit. And of course, Brucey's doing the intro, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Let's see if I can nail it down again.
Yeah, that last time was rough, bro. You better come harder than that. That's all I'm saying.
Look, it might be a little rough this go round too.
I demand perfection.
I'll do my best, boss.
Can y'all see that?
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, fuck it. Let's do this.
Do it.
doing it.
Burberry scars, shrimp and period, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and period, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
Yes, we are back. This is Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are the voices of the squared circle. This is a wrestling show made by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Yes, joining me, as always, is none other than the First Lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. And we're going throwback edition, Grandma Wendy. Because she only had 2 when we started.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mama, see now, we got.
Oh, I missed that music.
And also joining me is none other. I'm trying to think of the old throwback intro. I really can't remember it. Is the producer himself, the jack of all trades, the master of none, the Grand Slam champion
20
of
time,
Top
20
Rope
time,
Wrestling Talk, Dom.
The whole fucking show again. Oh, damn, I missed that music too.
And me, the man bringing you into the show, I am the MJF Mark, the pinnacle of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the high class one. Dom, take it away.
Bruce.
And I know it.
See? He forgot the yes I am part, but we'll let it go.
Yes, I did. Listen, I couldn't. Listen, that was probably. Hold on a second. That was probably one of the best intros I've done since we started this show, and I fucked my own ending up that I've never gotten wrong. I have never gotten that wrong in almost 100 episodes.
You almost nailed it, and then that perfection is unattainable.
Damn
homie. I don't know
intro
what to tell you. Oh, thank you, Devin. We missed you too, man. We missed everybody.
Yeah, Devin.
It's so good to be back. We had so much crap going on the last few weeks, y'all. like I had some problems with a surgical incision, had to have some fluid drained. Wendy had mouth issues.
I had to have an emergency root canal,
right,
and a tooth extraction. But it feels good to be able to do this without like half my face hurting.
And
she
I've
talk,
been working like
and then
an
Bruce, I mean, that man has been working like a damn dog, y'all.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
I know this is gonna sound dirty, but he has been laying pipe like 12 hours a day. That is a tired, beaten motherfucker right there. So
yep.
we had to take a week or two off. We had to get everybody in the same place. We had to find a way to come back strong. And I thought, what better way than maybe just having a little fun with some, because we got some stuff on our social medias, our Top Rope Wrestling Talk group on Facebook, Cheap Pop, come find us, invite yourself. We got all kinds of we got a lot of throwback questions. We got a lot of stuff to talk about since we've been gone, so I figured why not just throw a few of these throwbacks in, throw some of this new stuff in, and we're just gonna keep turning the clock back and forth. We're just gonna the whole ass time. So let's start out with a flashback that our Aaron from Facebook, who if you guys pay attention to Fox, then if you watch Drunk Upon a Time, was a co-host, Uncle Keenan, my man, great comedian, great dude. Hoping to get him back on soon. Love you, dude. He had asked us, who would be your Mount Rushmore from WCW? Which is a wonderful fucking question. And since I'm feeling gentlemanly tonight for once, I'm gonna toss it over to Grandma first and let her give us her Mount Rushmore of WCW, especially since she could smile and she could talk. I'm so happy for it. Go. Have fun.
Right. Hands down, the franchise, Sting. No questions asked. No need to argue. No need to explain. DDP, same thing. I'm gonna toss up. Fuck, I had the third one in my brain, like right there. He's right there. Fuck, now I can't think of the third one. Shit, stupid brain. Number 4 though, indubitably. And if anybody disagrees, I'll sock you in your whore mouth. Just right there.
Wow.
I'll give you a free root canal.
Holy cow. That
My
escalated
man.
quickly.
The king of botches, Mongo McMichaels.
Oh my God.
Might belong on the Mount Jobsmore of WCW.
No, he was pushed. He was pushed to the
He was a
damn
horseman,
moon.
though.
Remember him, right? You never forget him. He was a 4 horseman. You never forget him.
And
He
how many
was awful.
Mongo Mondays have we had on social media in our Facebook group? Like Mongo
Right?
botches every Monday.
Right?
That's another
The
reason
man-
to show
the
up. You
man-
get Mongo Monday, you get Mental Health Monday. It's all on Monday.
We make Mondays better. We make Mondays
do.
marvelous. We make them
We start
Mongo-licious.
your week out right, is what we do. We give you some
That's
laughs
right.
and we
That's right.
care. You know.
We do Mondays
So who was
better than Raw.
We do.
Yes, we
But
do.
that's not hard to
There
do.
was
We're gonna
one-
get into
there
that
was
right
one-
now. Right now, we're flashing back. We're gonna get into that.
There
Who
was
the
one that
third
I was
one?
uncertain if I wanted to put on there or not.
Fucking donuts.
I was wondering, would I put up Vampiro though?
Oh,
I was like,
No. There's
know.
one
He was
that
big.
you're completely freaking forgetting.
He was big
Who
in
am I
WCW.
forgetting?
There's a couple, if you ask me.
was big
but
on WCW.
He
That's
was
why
big. I
like,
mean, he ran with the Misfits, like the actual Misfits in WCW. That's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
And at one point he recruited the Kiss Demon, and then so as far as like rock category, yeah, like he was kind of a big deal. But who'd you say she was forgetting, Brucey?
Well, I'll just give you my Mount Rushmore.
Go ahead, give us the
for
Mount Rushmore.
WCW.
Oh, wait. The Nitro Girls would get their own mini Mount Rushmore too, because that was something that E didn't
Yeah.
have. They didn't
The Nitro-
have
the
Girls. They didn't
the
have
Nitro
any
Girls-
Intelligent Girls.
The Nitro Girls need to get their own club because I'll show up today.
Yeah.
All the 20 years later, they probably still look good. Like we know Stacy Keibler looked good, okay?
So if you're making a Mount Rushmore for WCW, there are two men that cannot be left off this for WCW. One is
Eric
Sting.
Bischoff.
One is Sting,
Definitely.
and the other is Ric Flair.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Woo!
Then
Ric Flair.
after that, I totally agree on DDP.
Okay,
I
that's
totally
what's up.
agree on that. But
Uh-uh.
Booker T
yeah.
belongs on there because he carried him
So-
through the end of their time and kept him afloat. He's the one that kept him afloat at the
You're
end.
not
Really did.
wrong.
Really
You're not
did.
wrong. He definitely, not only that, but I mean, he and Harlem Heat were a huge
Mhm.
part of WCW.
Stevie Ray
As they
Vaughan.
rose. Right? He and Stevie Ray. I mean, he's a 2-time Hall of Famer for a reason, and most of that is WCW.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good pick. I hadn't picked that one, to be honest. I had Ric Flair, of course, because I think any Mount Rushmore in wrestling, you gotta have Ric Flair. And WCW especially, just woo, he's number one. Sting is definitely number two, because as Wendy said, franchise, icon. Look at the development of his character, not only as WCW came up, but then as the NWO came in and things changed drastically.
Yes.
You know, he was one of the biggest reasons for WCW's rise, because even at a point Flair left and came back, but Sting was there all day, every day, twice on Sunday. So he's number two. My number three, I gotta say DDP, because of the impact that he made. Like not only, in wrestling, but just in the world in general. I mean, showing up on the Tonight Show with Karl Malone and getting in a fight with Rodman and Hogan, having Jay Leno as a tag partner. That's where he helped WCW transcend from a wrestling company to more of a, even though they weren't, sports entertainment brand by making them more known outside of wrestling. So for that, he's got to be my number 3. And my 4th one, I know I'm probably going to catch hell for this, but when you think about it, the man was there from like the ground up. He was just as big as Booker T, if not bigger, as far as tag team, singles competitor, the whole 9. It's got to be, I don't care if it's Mullet or it's Big Papa Pump. You got to have Scott Steiner on that list. You have to. He was winning world tag team champions there before Harlem Heat ever even showed up. And then he became Big Papa Pump. And yeah, he definitely changed drastically and his style changed, but he was still a world champion. He was still running with the NWO. He was still a prominent figure all the way throughout. We're talking a decade, 15 years in one company. He basically helped build them.
What about Vader?
Oh, Vader's good too, but I don't know if I'd put him.
His feuds with Sting and Flair.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I think Vader was more of an outside of WCW guy than like WCW itself, because he had some good feuds there, but then he was only there for kind of like cup of coffee and then pew off to WWE and it was Vader time. He
was more of an international sensation, really.
Yeah,
in Japan, he really built his name up in Japan. And
losing a freaking eyeball. Well, not losing, but having one pop out of the socket in a match with Stan Hansen, which was talk about throwback. That's throwback. That's flashback and throw up is what that is. Yeah, that's exactly my reaction when I saw it.
That's how Rey Mysterio should have done it.
I usually watch like the WrestleMania lists. When I'm getting ready for work.
What does that not surprise me?
I can't even remember like what the list was, but I was putting on mascara as they show that, and I jabbed myself in the eye from the shot. Like, oh, fuck. I was like, geez, I'm gonna end up like Vader.
Gonna end up like Vader. Oh man, shout out to Kadrian. Hey, what's going on, man? And yes. Thank you. The Taco Bell logo is dope. We haven't used that in a long time. I think it's been like a year and some change.
Absolutely, Marshall. There's no fucking lie.
Jericho did cut what is probably the greatest promo in WCW history. The 1004 moves with
the man of 1004 holds.
And like every other move was a fucking armbar.
Yeah, it's the armbar.
Like drop toe hold, armbar. Sleeper, armbar, butterfly suplex, armbar. I love that fucking promo. Like, yeah, that was definitely. I got to agree with Donuts on that one. That was probably one of, if not the best promo in WCW history. It was the funniest. It had me on the floor laughing the entire time.
Agreed.
All right, so now that we flash back, I think we need to kind of just, flash forward.
All right. We're there.
And I know it's not really related, but it's something that I got to talk about because you guys that watch probably know I'm a huge Impact Wrestling fan, and they promoted a lot of people that got cut last year in WWE for Slammiversary, and a lot of them showed up. Well, on their last episode, the Slammiversary promo changed a little bit, and they started throwing this image in with the rest, and a picture of Bryan Danielson.
I don't know.
So the question becomes, can Impact actually pull this off and get Bryan Danielson into a ring at Slammiversary? And if he does, at least show up and stick around a little bit, because we don't know if this would be, oh, we're signing him and he's going to stay here, or if this is like an EC3 thing where he's going to do a tour and then he's just going to pick a company and or ride off into the sunset. So can they get him to show up? And if they can, who would you want to see him face?
like if he showed up at Slammiversary,
Right.
the only thing that would make sense for Impact is to inject him into the Impact World Championship match. That's the only way it's worth it. Is to make that title match a 3-way match. That's the only way it's worth
That's
it.
what I was thinking, to be honest.
There's no one else on that roster for him to wrestle. There's nobody there that's worth him going there and
Okay.
putting on a match.
No,
at
I agree.
Slammiversary.
But I would say I kind of want to see him versus Sami Callihan. I think that would be a good match. I also think they've been plugging away saying that Joe is showing up, and if you can give me another Joe versus Bryan match, I'm down with that too. But obviously, going into Under Siege, I had been saying Sammy's the one that's going to win and take the titles back. That didn't happen. Moose won.
Bullshit.
And you know, for those of you who follow it, Moose has been saying, or at least reports have been saying, that Moose is denying re-signing with the company, that WWE is interested, the whole nine. If those reports are true, then Moose is probably not going to be the guy to take titles from Kenny Omega.
Nope. That's why.
And they will need somebody else. Now, Sammy could still be that guy, but one of my dream matches for at least a few years now has been Kenny Omega and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. Call him what you want. The man behind the Yes Movement and the Cleaner. I think those two could put on an absolutely beautiful show.
I would love to see that. That
would be
awesome to see
art.
that.
So if Daniel Bryan is the guy who gets into this type of match with Kenny Omega and then takes those titles back to Impact, even if he drops them later to Joe or Sammy or something, it would just be me sitting there at the end like, well, life well spent. Whoo! Anybody got a cigarette? Oh, never mind. That was good. That was damn good.
Like, it's here's the thing. He may not even have a match at Slammiversary. It may be like EC3 last year at Slammiversary. They said he was showing up. We didn't believe him, but he showed up. He didn't have a match, but he jumped Moose.
And then he had a match with Moose later on. That's what I mean. ECW. I'm sorry. You know me, South Philly. Sorry. EC3 kind of did a tour where he showed up in Impact a little bit, had that match with Moose, dipped, went to ROH, and then ended up sticking and staying there. Daniel Bryan could do the same sort of thing, only he could kind of expand, maybe spend a little time in Impact, go back to ROH for like an encore, go to Japan, do whatever he wants, because he's the man behind the S Movement, whatever you want to fucking call him. He can call his own shot at this point. He doesn't need to do anything else, but if he wants to, nobody can stop him. And nobody's going to say no. New Japan is not going to say, no, we don't need you.
Oh, no.
ROH is going to say, no, we can't have you back.
Bro, New Japan just lost their world champion. Yes, They would love to have Bryan Danielson.
Exactly. And heel fast Will Ospreay. That is some shit. That is some shitty luck. Like, that's not Miz luck where he says, I've never been injured once in a 15-year career, and then zombies show up and he blows an ACL. But it's still shitty fucking luck.
He's dead.
Yeah, and now he's dead.
Yes, he's dead.
At best.
How are you gonna bring that?
We're gonna talk about that.
So I don't
want to. But at best, that motherfucker's a zombie. Do zombies even need ACLs? Like, just walk. You've seen them dragging shit along like their legs all bent. They just you don't need no ACL. He's good. Although apparently Morrison was back on Monday, so he's not dead. There's that.
He's not as
dead. Donuts made a pretty good point. He said Impact is perfect for Daniel Bryan. Right. Works 2 days a month plus pay-per-views, and the rest of the time he can be home with his kids and Bree. It's perfect for him.
Exactly.
It really is.
It's why it makes sense to me personally, because of everything he just said. It's you show up for tapings, you spend a couple of days, you go home, you show up for pay-per-views, you go home. You got like a month in between to just kick back, do nothing. You know, it's also why it's kind of perfect for Joe, because they both had issues with concussions. Joe's had some other issues, and you know, for them to be able to like work a light schedule, make some money, have some good matches, and have all this time in between to recoup. Because let's not bullshit here. I mean, yes, they got rid of live shows in WWE, and now they're in the Thunderdome, and they're not on the road, and everything else, and eventually they'll go back. But when Joe and Daniel got hurt, it was not like that. You were wrestling 200-300 days out of the fucking year, you know, going from one city to another state to another fucking country every day.
Yeah.
So of course it wore them out, and of course it fucked them up. But if they gotta, you know, work maybe a week out of the month, it's perfect.
I'd love to work 1 week a month.
You and me both, bro.
Right?
You and me both. All of us. It's unanimous.
I should have never stopped wrestling.
We are never unanimous at TRWT, but we are on this one. A week out of the month, I'm good. Right? Maybe I should have kept wrestling. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. But to see if Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or whatever the fuck you want to call him shows up. But in the meantime, let's flash back again, shall we? Can't stop hitting that button. I'm sorry, y'all. It's too good.
Too good, I tell you.
All right. So the next flashback question actually came from my wife this time, which threw me off a little bit, but she's okay. It was a damn good question. Yeah. So yeah, she sat under the psycho tree now for like, you know, decade plus. So she's really learned. And her question was, who do you consider to be the GOAT of the Samoan dynasty, aka the Maivias, you know, the whole bloodline, the tribal chiefs family?
All of them.
Who do you consider to be the GOAT from that particular family?
Like in a overall kind of thing, like everything they've done.
Yeah, out of the whole family, their body of work in and outside the ring, everything they've accomplished. Who do you think is the GOAT of that entire large dynasty?
I got to give it up to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because the man managed to be through the mainstream.
That is
if you're a wrestling fan, you know him. If you're not a wrestling fan, you know him. Like, you know, and he does not just wrestling, but he's got the movies. He has nonprofits. He has the XFL. What doesn't he have?
He's got his show.
Right.
He's done football.
He's everywhere.
He's done all of it. He does anything and everything.
That's the obvious answer. That's probably the number one answer. I don't have the number one answer, but I think I'm close. If I had to pick a GOAT, I'm probably going to pick the guy that trained everyone, Alpha and Sika, so that they turned around and did, you know, their thing with their children and their cousins and so on and so forth till this huge family in wrestling developed. And that's the High Chief, man, Peter Maivia.
Oh yeah,
he's got to be the GOAT, because without him, there's nothing. He trained Alpha and Sika, who then turned around and you know, and he trained and he worked with Rocky Johnson, and you know, from there everything
from him
grew.
The trickle down effect.
He is literally the root of that entire wrestling family tree. So for me, the High Chief has got to be the GOAT.
I gotta give an honorable mention to the one and only Yokozuna, because to be a Samoan playing a Japanese man, like, and to do it so well.
Even beyond that, to be as big as he was and to be able to move and run and like climb the ropes and do the things that he did, mind blowing. So yeah, he's definitely worth an honorable mention. I loved Yokozuna. Yeah. Like I knew from the very beginning he was Samoan. Didn't give a fuck.
So if you want me to be truly honest, and I am, because
MJF.
No, because I've watched the
MJF
Young Rock
Samoan cousin,
and that shit's like really accurate from what I understand, because it's coming from the Rock's point of view.
Yeah.
Yes. The High Chief's wife, the Rock's grandmother, she is the true OG of that freaking family.
That's
That
not bad.
woman is gangsta.
That's not bad. She
was
really
gangsta.
is. She really is, y'all.
No,
That's not bad. I seriously thought you were gonna say some stupid shit like MJF Samoan cousin or some shit.
Hell no. But like because Wendy said The Rock and you said Peter Maivia.
No, that's a nice curveball. I like it.
But I'm gonna go back to the in-ring, even though she was a promoter. Man, it's tough because, like you said, there's Yokozuna, there's The Rock, there's Peter Maivia,
There's
the
Umaga.
High Chief, Umaga.
It's the whole family.
Even today, you got Roman, you got Jacob Fatu, you got the Usos,
I'd have to go with
Rikishi, for
Alpha
Christ's
and
sake.
Sika. I'd have to go with the Head Shrinkers. Honestly, they were. The High Chief wasn't mainstream. He was an amazing wrestler and he was very popular and all of that, but he didn't reach. Alpha and Sika reached the mountaintop of WWF at that time. They were the first
totally
ones
agree.
there. So,
but guess who trained Alpha and Sika?
No, I know. I get it.
They wouldn't know shit from Shinola or even be here if it weren't for the High Chief. That's why
I'm just trying to give something different from what you guys had and a different point of view.
Good.
I wasn't arguing. The High Chief's obviously the man, but I just wanted to throw
me. I just like to
there.
debate. I just like to get my 2 cents.
There was nothing there was nothing to debate. I wasn't arguing with you. I was giving you mine.
All of a sudden I'm getting flashbacks. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker. But yeah, the Head Shrinkers.
Okay. No, they're all good answers. They're definitely all good answers. And The Rock is probably the number one answer. That's like the most. If we put a survey out there, I'm sure Rock is number one. Yeah. But when you're looking at wrestling, maybe.
You know who's not on that list?
Who's not?
Nia Jax.
No.
Ever.
She's on like the Mount Jobsmore of the family by herself. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, since she brought up something current, let's fast forward, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So now we got that out of the way. Here's something totally related that Brucey's been wanting to talk about, and Devin, I'm hoping, is still watching because he's probably been dying to see. And that is, let's talk about and break down this whole new wrinkle in the Tribal Chief storyline now that Jimmy Uso, aka Juicy Usi 2, has returned to the fold. Because
catch me up, because I've been out of the loop.
Oh, it got good.
So that's all I know. Good. All I know is Juicy Usi 2 has returned, so we got both Juicy Usis.
Right.
And
but there's a huge division in them Juicy Usis right now.
Yeah, huge. I can't remember what Instagram page to look, but it's
like Jay still wants to be Jay still wants to be main event Jay, and he wants to acknowledge his Tribal Chief and back him up and everything else. And Jimmy is like, we need to be the Usos. We need to be on top of the tag division. We need to be doing this and doing that. And Roman has taken
trying to get the band back together, right?
Yeah, and Roman is.
You're saying Jimmy and Jay, and that's confusing me.
Yes, Juicy Usi 2 is back, and he wants to.
The band back together.
He wants to make the unit stronger, while Roman wants to be all about the Tribal Chief. And Jay is on that. Juicy Usi 1 is on that page, but Juicy Usi 2 is like, nah, bruh, we need to do this, that, and the other. And it is fucking great.
I'm caught up on that. Cool.
So now that you're caught up, I'm going to give the floor to the high class one, because he said in our own little private group chat as we were getting ready for the show this week, I have to talk about this. I have a theory. We have to talk about this on the show. I put it in the show for him. So please, high class, break it down for us. Give us your theories. Give us your thoughts. You have the floor. Devin, pay attention.
Yes, Devin, listen. Listen, Devin.
Get that chair.
So,
the GIF.
When Jimmy first came back and his debut back, when he came back, he basically was in an argument of sorts, with Roman, trying to get Jay to come with him, and Roman basically said, "You better acknowledge me, or I'm gonna shun you and kick you out of the family."
Else.
But Jimmy's quote was, "You're not the only Uso. You're not the only Us. You're not the only Samoan. You're not the greatest Samoan." he didn't quite say it like that, but you get the gist of what he was
we
saying.
didn't call him the GOAT. I'm just saying it's none of my business, but still.
So, what's the one match that everybody's has been wanting to see Roman in? And they said WrestleMania, and then they said Royal Rumble, and they said this. What's the one Samoan that they want to see Roman wrestle?
Oh man, the only soundbite I got from him is this.
Shut up, bitch.
Yes, The Rock. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
If you smell,
The Rock's not going to come back and have a singles match. He's just not. He's it's just not what he's going to do. So Jimmy Uso teams up with The Rock to take on Roman and Jay at SummerSlam. If Roman wins, Jimmy has to acknowledge him as the tribal chief and join his place beside his brother at his side. If Jimmy and The Rock wins, Jay can go back with
to the
Jimmy,
Usos
and then they can go back to being the
once
Usos
again.
they want to be.
That's not bad.
It could happen. This is something that WWE could actually do because, yes, Devin, SmackDown has better storylines and they are building stories. Yes.
Oh no, SmackDown is fantastic. Raw, garbage every week. SmackDown, fantastic.
Fox could pull this off. Fox could make this happen for
And you know what? The tag match makes sense because it would kind of protect The Rock a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been out of the ring for a while. It would lead to a great story, great family drama, which I know brings a lot of wrestling fans to the table, you know, and it would bring a lot of casual fans who are into The Rock and that sort of thing back in to watch wrestling and get eyes on the product. I definitely like where you're going.
We could even see like a Rock heel turn in his last match and turn on Jimmy Uso.
If we get heel Rock back from this.
You really want to get Roman over as the high chief?
I don't
have the Rock
chief,
announce him.
Have him acknowledge him. Yeah.
Yes. Just like Alpha and Sika did.
Could you imagine if Roman's the reason we get heel Rock back for the first time in how many fucking decades?
And then
like early 21st century.
Roman and Jay beat down Jimmy in the ring, and then Jimmy.
Because no offense, cover your ears, Bruce, because I'm probably going to say something you're not going to like. But like heel Rock was probably the best heel. Period. End of story. Then now forever heel Rock. Sorry, MJF. Heel Rock.
Close second.
Bullshit. Bullshit, you know.
I'm waiting for our Clark Street brethren to chime in.
I know. I'm just waiting for that live chat.
Man. You know what? I think Devin's over there like giddy laughing.
I think he's taking this in. I really am.
He is soaking this all in right now because I didn't.
He was probably waiting
Roman.
for like. He was probably waiting for like Roman slander and everything, and then he's like, "Wait, whoa." Oh, even Bryan says, and by the way, hey, Bryan,
not
sorry.
Be surprised.
As great as he is, 2003 heel Rock was perfect. And hey, puppy. Oh, he says hi to Leia. Hi, Leia. I just noticed. I was looking at the chat. I just noticed. There she is. Top Rope's official mascot.
She's never going back.
We're going to get another shirt that says let Leia play with that face on it. TRWT merch. But yeah, I would like that. I love this storyline. I love SmackDown has been very good. Raw, not so much. SmackDown has been very good, and this is a big reason for it. The only issue I have with it is, and this goes back years. Bruce will back me up on this because he's been here with me the whole time. We have always said having that Samoan dynasty faction of like the Usos, okay, and Roman Reigns would be a beautiful thing. And we've kind of got it, but we got them like infighting and kind of bowing at Roman's feet and everything else. And I get why. I know, acknowledge him, he's the tribal chief. I get that part. But at the same time, the Usos are one of the best tag teams in WWE. I don't care if you say today,
the best. Not
all
one,
time,
the best.
They probably are the best. No offense to the New Day, but they probably are the best. Roman already looks to be, I know the history is limited, but Roman is pretty much the best Universal Champion there's been. I mean, whether you like him or not.
Goldberg.
Why would you not want to elevate Jimmy and Jay to that level so that you're all on that level. So that Jimmy and Jay are running like Jimmy has said, Jimmy and Jay are running the SmackDown tag division. It's back on lockdown in the Uso Penitentiary, and Roman is dominating as the Universal Champion. And as a collective group, they are on the top of the mountain. And yes, Roman is still the Tribal Chief because he's holding that Universal title. I mean, if you're Universal Champion, you're already a step above tag champ. I'm just saying. Why not take Jimmy's advice? Let these guys be who they are. Let them be on that level. It's not going to take anything away from Roman Reigns. If it's to add to like what Brucey said, where they're going to build this drama, and then maybe next year when they have the green light and they're in Texas and WrestleMania is on, we get this tag match with the Rock making an appearance, then okay, I'm with that shit. If it's not, I just don't get it. Because there is no reason that you wouldn't want your cousins, the best tag team in WWE, to be as great as they could possibly be while having your back at the same time. Mm-hmm. Unless you're just a fucking egomaniac or you're building to a bigger story, which we have to wait and see, of course. But for once, I actually kind of do want to wait and see with WWE. Like, this isn't like Retribution when they came out and I was just like, oh, this is shit. And people were like, oh, you got to wait for it. You don't know where it's going. I knew where it was fucking going, and it went there. With this story, though, I don't know if it's going to, we're just making Roman seem like, an egomaniac, or we're building to next year's WrestleMania where we're going to have something like Bruce talked about with a tag match and get The Rock back in and everything else. I don't know. So I actually do want to wait and see. That doesn't happen much with WWE. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's Hundo P, son.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Okay, Leia, what do you think about the tribal chief? Your thoughts?
She's looking for her butt. Atta girl.
Well, for dogs, that's a good thing. Now she's gonna lick your face. Butt. Watch. There goes.
You just got poopy face.
She did not lick my face.
You know what it is? You know what it is? We're talking about the Samoan dynasty. She just called a stink face.
Oh, atta girl. That's what I like. Stay down. Good girl.
Only it was Leia's tongue instead of Rikishi's cheeks. Stink face.
Grumbling. Solid theories, you guys. Thank you for catching me up on the juicy oozy drama.
All right. Oh, we actually have a response from Devin too. Hang on. He said, I hear you, Bruce, but with The Rock's super busy schedule, I don't see him at SummerSlam, maybe WrestleMania in LA. I do see Seth and Roman's paths crossing at SummerSlam. That I could see too, because Seth kind of they kind of jointly beat down Cesaro and sent him back to the mid card, which was so sad. But then afterwards, they kind of caught a little heat, and Roman just gave him the "Don't let it happen again" speech, and I was like, oh, he gonna beat the shitty suit right off of Seth Rollins. This could be good.
If it wasn't for Seth Rollins, there would be no Roman Reigns.
But then, my response to that, Devin, would be like, why not both? Why not maybe Seth at SummerSlam, and then maybe next year's WrestleMania, maybe The Rock's available for one night, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
It would make sense to hold it off till LA, but that's, a couple years from now, and Rock ain't getting any younger. And, WWE's already missed out on a few gates, and getting The Rock to show up in Texas, we'll get some butts in the seats quickly. They won't have trouble selling tickets this year like they did, or last year, or next year like they did this year.
So it may not be The Rock, but I can see Rikishi teaming up with Jimmy. Even at one of the mid-card pay-per-views that they have for this story. And between Devin, pay-per-view.
I'm sorry, Devin also said Tribal Chief is definitely building something big that's beyond our comprehension. I don't know if it's beyond my comprehension. I'm just saying I want to wait for it, which is not something that I normally do with WWE. When they tell me to wait, I'm like, nah, I will not be here next week. Sorry, y'all. But I'm here for this. Like, this is actually interesting the shit out of me. And, we've been talking a lot I might as well clump this in while we're on the subject. We've been talking a lot about how SmackDown is pretty good and Raw is not so much.
Yeah.
Well, we've also been talking about the Tribal Chief, and amazingly, the Tribal Chief weighed in on this exact same topic. I'm gonna put it up for our YouTube fans, but for the podcast audience later, I read. We got a bunch of fast food fans, and they complain that they want stories and well thought out stories to develop. When you start doing that for them, they want it all now, which is true. I kind of do. I mean,
Yes,
I'm a little
it's
guilty
true.
of that, but I'm willing to wait for it. The next part is more of what I wanted to get across, and that was my people. I'm cooking a steak. We're creating an elaborate omelet, and we're in the process of cracking eggs right now. You're not going to get it quite yet. We're going to let the steak stay on the grill. If you want your cheeseburger, watch Raw. SmackDown, we do filet mignon. Direct quote from the Tribal Chief.
No, that was a direct quote from creative that Vince McMahon handed into somebody. But hey, we'll go with it. Yeah,
We'll
it's
say the Tribal
definitely-
Chief because here
It's definitely agreeable.
kayfabe exists on Top Rope Wrestling. Kayfabe exists.
Yeah,
Kayfabe
kayfabe's
Dreams
still
come
alive.
true.
All right.
It's all big things popping here at TRWT. So
Yeah.
that being
yeah,
said, first thing I thought was, damn, that promo made me hungry. Because we're talking about steak and eggs, filet mignons and shit. I was like, I already had dinner and I'm hungry just reading that shit. Secondly, for that alone, for him saying that, I might have to acknowledge him. In fact, on social media, I did in Devin's presence. I know he's going to bring that up. Because for him to be, even if somebody handed that to him and said, you got to read this, for him to read it took balls. Because one of these days, who knows? I know he's the Tribal Chief and everything else, but one of these days, some shakeup, some draft, you could end up on Raw, and then you said this shit. And somebody could just be like, well, hope you like being buried.
I don't see him ever getting buried.
Guess who's losing to Gable tonight?
I'm still pissed off that he hasn't gotten a run with any singles titles. Now they got him with Otis. Sorry, my 2 cents.
You know what, Devin? Honestly, that was my thought too. I thought we would get Tribal Chief versus Big E at WrestleMania in Texas, and we still might. But I just don't know where this is all now that Jay's involved, and now the Bruces broke the theory out, and I'm like, wow, that's much better than I thought it would, because he would not tell us what this was. Wendy backed me up. He would not.
Dark.
He was just like, you guys are gonna love this. Just wait. I'm like, come on, man, spill. Just no, you gotta wait. We're like we're in the chat before we're in this call before getting live. And I'm like, come on, man, give us a hint. No, you gotta wait. And so I didn't know what he was gonna say. I was a little worried. But when he finally said it, I was like, wow, okay. That was left field, bro. But
Hey, that's pretty good.
I give it up to you. So now that we've had all this Tribal Chief talk.
Way too much for our show, might I add.
A lot more
I
than
brought it
usual,
up.
yeah.
I know it was me, but yeah, it went on a little longer.
Yeah,
than I thought
let's we're gonna do a little bit. This is kind of a hybrid flashback, flash forward question, but I'm gonna hit that shit anyway because I love hitting it.
Found it.
There it is.
We're back.
We're back. We're forward. We don't know where we are, but we're here. So
Time is relative.
the question
Like
is,
Ant.
is there a like a gimmick, a tactic, an angle, a storyline in wrestling that has gone on long enough and either needs to be just straight up curtailed or flat out deleted? Like, just get Matt Hardy on it back and let him get broke again. Just delete.
Don't think we're gonna see that Matt Hardy ever again.
I know. It's sad.
I don't think so.
I kind of miss him.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the COVID killed it.
Kind of.
Because that was always a crowd thing for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely more of a reactionary gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, anybody got anything to add for the question?
What was the question?
Basically, something in pro wrestling that's going on. It could be an angle, it could be a storyline, it could be a tactic, it could be whatever. Is there something in wrestling that's going on for too long and needs to just end in 2021?
Roman's career.
There it is. There's the slander.
I couldn't go without
a little late, but still, there it is.
I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I don't want to waste that pick on someone that's not relevant. That we just talked 15 minutes about.
Acknowledge him, Bruce.
Never.
I think we just did. I mean,
never.
We gave him like 15 minutes of the show.
Yeah, but I was acknowledging my
probably like 14 more minutes than he has ever had on this show
without being bashed.
True.
Wow, I don't know. That's hard because there's been a lot of shit.
There is a lot, but that's good because there's three of us, so we can all cover a separate thing. Maybe we can go around the horn. It doesn't have to be one thing. Let's just start and then we'll build.
One that I'm glad I haven't seen in a few weeks. Facetious, by the way. The cuckold storyline. I can do without that.
Yeah, and the stalker storylines too. Like we can stop
I can do without stalkers.
Especially when in real life people like Sonya Deville or Alexa Bliss are literally being stalked. Yep. Like you don't need that shit in wrestling. It sends the wrong message to people. Like I know it hasn't been done in a while. You can kind of. I mean, maybe Dexter Lumis is doing some light stalking on Indy Hartwell, but she's into it. You know, like it's not really stalking. It's just more like a very weird courting period. I don't know what to call that.
Another thing that weirds me out when they bring IRL family into it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But like DDP with Undertaker back in the day, and they brought Sarah into it.
Yes.
Remember that when DDP debuted as the stalker? Yeah,
the Gun and Stone Cold. Oh man.
Oh, Brian Pillman in the Gun. Yeah. Pillman 1911 says, "I just shot your ass." God. What the fuck? Thank God that only happened once.
But Dexter Lumis.
Oh man, his wife.
Dexter Lumis is Samuel is the Disney version of Samuel Shaw. Yeah. Samuel Shaw was the stalker, and he was fucking good.
He was the creepy. He was the super.
They're the same person.
Bastard. Yeah, they are. He was the one that was stalking Christy Hemme in TNA.
They're the same person.
I know.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. You kind of looked like what?
But I do love. I know you guys don't watch a lot of NXT, and even I have to like catch up, you know, after the fact, but I do love the couple name between the two of them. They call them Index. Indy and Dexter. Index. Like that's kind of cool. Like some of it's kind of cute, and it's a little weird because he's weird and she's on the verge of weird. So it's not really stalking. It's more of just a weird courting period. So like that's okay. But like what he did with Christy Hemme, thank God that was in the early 2000s and it hasn't really happened since. That shit could stop. That could just go. The one that I'd like to throw in the fire, the chopping block on top, next to the bomb, whatever we're doing, it's just this. I don't care where it comes from. I'm so sick and tired of companies and stuff sitting here and saying, well, we're not in competition with blank. I don't care if it's AEW talking about WWE or vice versa, or then Impact saying it about either one or whatever. And then they just turn around and bash each other on TV. It's like, if you're not in competition, why the fuck are you talking shit? Like, if I'm not in a fight with you,
cheap shots.
Like, if we're supposed to be cool and like you do your thing, I do mine. Why are you over here talking shit?
Now,
it was the bashing stuff was cool, like in like Attitude Era, like NWO, or when DX invaded, that kind of stuff. It's over. It's fucking over. That whole era, the whole war era, the Attitude, all the bashing, it's over. Let it be over.
Now,
I have to agree with Bryan. He just said, don't forget the stalker storyline with Marty the Moth harassing Melissa Santos in season 3 of Lucha Underground. And stories concerning things like miscarriages have no place in wrestling. I agree with that.
Yes.
Nintendo P, son.
Absolutely. That's another one to throw on there. Like any of the definitely like miscarriage or any of those like traumatizing life events. Yeah, you can skip that shit. This ain't Jerry Springer,
Mhm.
you know? Like Vince Russo's been out of the business for a
Seriously.
while. Leave that shit with him.
Agreed.
So, any match that involves something hanging from a pole can definitely go. Those
Okay.
can definitely go.
Okay. So we're not talking like Money in the Bank. We're not talking ladder matches. We're talking
on a pole,
like in the corner.
like
And
Vince
like if you get
Russo
it,
special in the 90s.
and if you get it, you can use it. It doesn't mean you win. It just
Agreed,
means you can
agreed.
use it in the match. You know.
Yeah, those no.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Or the ones like people in the cage kind of things. Like it was funny back in the
shark
day when
cage?
you would have like that cage hanging up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like
the shark cage.
She's my manager or whatever. Now it's like this is just awkward.
I think that kind of went
Enzo
away.
was the last one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that kind of went away only
I'm glad that's
because
gone away.
like
So glad that's gone away.
managers and valets have kind of disappeared. So that shark cage match is few and far between, man. They did it once with back when AOP was in NXT. They put Paul Ellering in the shark cage over the ring while they were having a tag title match, and then they did it with Enzo. He was the last one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he can stay away too. So.
When they bring IRL problems into wrestling, like when they have like when the person has inner demons they're dealing with, i.e. addiction, and they bring it in like
yes. Like was it last year that they brought in Jeff Hardy's drinking?
Jeff Hardy.
Sheamus was like
yes.
Had that barroom brawl with him the whole time. I was skeeved out. The whole fucking time. I was like, this is just wrong. Like, thank God
it was
SmackDown
so uncomfortable. They were giving him drug tests in the ring and
piss tests in the ring. He's throwing piss in Sheamus's face.
Yeah, it was really
like this whole ass thing. No. Cut.
It was just
go to commercial
and unnecessary.
And no picture in picture either. Just cut the fucking commercial. This is bullshit. Strap matches? Yeah.
When was the last strap match?
That's what Devin just said.
I just seen it, but I'm trying to think of when the last strap match actually was.
Brody.
Isn't there one in AEW?
Brody was a dog collar.
Oh, it was a dog collar, but
it was a
Oh,
it was
they're
close.
different. No,
they're a little different, but it's close.
Yeah.
Instead of the wrist, it's on the neck, and you can still use it as a weapon. It's you have to touch all four corners. It's the same fucking thing, different body part.
I'm a fan of those, but
I am.
The last strap match, now that it just popped in my head because I'm an MLW fan. The screw job, Savio Vega versus Richard Holiday for the Caribbean Championship when MLW came back a few months ago. And they got that crooked ass referee from the NBA to ref that match and screw Savio Vega out of the title and say, oh no, I called it right down the middle, even though he's known for being a crooked fucking referee. That was the last one.
Yeah, that was a strap match. Yeah.
That was the last one. Yeah. And that one was actually pretty good, but yeah, we could kind of get rid of that. Like even go back to AEW when Cody had to take them 10 lashes from MJF
that was
before.
That was
like, yeah, this is that was one of those things too. Like
it was awesome.
So bad, it was funny.
It was cool,
it was
but at
awesome,
the same time, it was like
cringeworthy. I was like,
yeah, it's like when I was younger. And Tommy Dreamer is getting caned by the Sandman to prove that he's hardcore. I was all into it because I was like a fucking teenager. But now that I'm a grown ass man, I'm watching another grown man get whipped by a grown man with a belt. Now I'm just having parent flashbacks. I'm like, no, mom, no, cut it off. Like, nah, we can get rid of that.
You know what
too.
I do wish they would like bring back, like at least once as a throwback kind of thing.
What's that?
The King of the Road match. That would be hysterical to bring back.
Oh, the match on the back of the semi-trailer, like in the semi-trailer.
Oh
my God, where everything's shaking.
Yes, Dustin Rhodes. And
at first,
it was Dustin.
At first, I thought you were gonna say. At first, I thought you were gonna. It was Dustin and
Oh my God.
Was it Dick No, not Dick Murdoch. Dick Slater? No. I can't remember who the fuck it was, but it was Dustin Rhodes.
Wendy's looking it up.
Who?
It was Dustin Rhodes and Blacktop Bully.
Oh, the
Blacktop Bully.
Okay. I don't know why I had Dixon. like for some every Dick that ever wrestled, Dick Murdoch, Dick Slater.
Can we do away with street fights?
Oh, but some of them are good.
Never.
Like, how much did we
Now-
love?
How the fuck
How
no.
much did we love the street fight between Pride and Powerful? Sorry, too many P's, and Best Friends.
There's just they're being overdone.
They're definitely
There's good ones.
we can
but they're
scale
just-
back.
Listen, Devin, and I'm not picking a fight with you. Devin is tired of strap matches. We've literally probably had 2, maybe 3 in the last 5 years.
The street match could be
If it
scaled
is,
back.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
He's so fired up tonight. I figured he'd be tired from work.
No, we're
Pot of coffee.
we're tired of strap matches, and we have like 3 in the last 5 years. But no one's tired of a street fight where there's one every other week.
Because some of them are damn good,
Well, I'm not
but they
tired of
could
strap
scale.
matches.
I'm
There's
with
some
you.
damn
I don't want to get
good-
rid of them. I want to scale
There's
them back
some
a little
damn
bit.
good strap matches too that have happened, and dog collar matches, and bull rope matches that are
That's what
all
I mean.
the same
A
concept.
strap match, a bull rope
Amazing.
match, and a
Another-
dog collar match are pretty much all the same.
And that's what I said.
Same rules, same everything.
So you're saying
even getting rid of one, you still got 2 left.
but you put the dog collar match in the same category as the strap
strap
match,
match?
just
Yeah.
not too long
the
ago.
rules
you
are
said
the
they're- You
same.
said they're the same match. So the dog collar
Blood and
matches
guts and
can
war
go.
games, same shit, just different. You know, that's dog collar and strap.
So you're telling me that Brody Lee versus Cody Rhodes was not one of the best dog collar matches you have ever seen?
Oh, by far. I'm not saying
But
that.
That
you
was a
wanna get
fine-ass
rid of it.
match.
Now you're
wanna
just sticking
throw that
words in
shit
my
right
mouth.
out the window.
No, I'm saying
No.
moving forward, if we don't have another strap match, I'm okay with it.
Well, I'm not getting rid of it. I love me a good old fashioned strap match, dog collar
Listen,
match, whatever rope
just-
match. Just because someone's getting a good old fashioned ass whooping, all right? I'm all about that shit. No lie,
I've got it.
hands down. As far as
I've
street
got it.
matches
I
go,
know.
those are crapshoots.
You know what?
Street
You know
street
what needs
matches
to
are
go?
like, what needs to go?
What
You
needs to
want
go?
to know? You really want to know?
I guess so, because
You
you're just
really wanna
jumping in,
know?
so go ahead.
Am I frozen?
Fucking death matches. Bam! I said
Fuck
it.
you! Fuck
Ah,
you
get
and
in
the
the car,
high-class
kick in
horse
the
you
back.
rode in on, you piece of crap.
Bring in the dog.
You shut your whore mouth. You're lucky I don't mute you.
I will keep the cutter your forehead.
I'm
for
better
that
than
shit.
you, and
Wendy,
you know
Wendy,
it.
Pork
Wendy,
shit.
get the light tubes and the table.
I'm firing up the car. We're going.
coming
We're
to my
going. We're
neck
putting
of the
all the
woods?
shit in the car. I'm hauling
My-
ass. And
Do I gotta?
Just come here. My
Do I
truck
gotta
will
pull a
fit
Bryan
tables
Pillman
and
on
light
you?
tubes and all that. What, you
The
don't think
glasses
I'm
are
strapped?
off. The glasses are off.
I don't have glasses. Wait.
Leah,
Here we go.
Leah, hold my goddamn earrings, girl. No, don't lick my face. Hold my
Glasses are
earrings. Everything's off. The rage is coming out. Oh,
Here's your
I love
Vaseline.
you too, baby. I love you too. No, Mama's not that mad. Mama's not that mad. It's not you, baby. It's Brucey. Brucey's getting an ass beating. Mwah.
Bryan says that's it. High
Bryan over
class
here.
is a heel model.
Because I'm right.
That was just
He's in
pure
heel mode
heat.
tonight.
Pure heat.
That was.
Like that man
Did
is
you
better
hear
than
him,
Don
Andrew?
Callis because he pissed me off more than the so visible hand ever did.
Oh,
There's no
Mama,
point in death
come here.
matches.
No shaking.
There's no point. I'm gonna stab you in the
Why is
head
there no
with
point in death matches?
with skewing sticks.
Yeah.
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 And
I'm gonna beat you
forks.
in the face
not
with a big
even-
old black
it's
dong.
not
Staple
even
guns.
Till you
wrestling.
bleed.
It's not even
Come on,
wrestling.
I'm serious. I'm gonna send Nick Gage to
Yeah, it
your
is.
house. I swear to God.
How? How?
body
They
slam.
hit people with stuff.
They still
That's
use
why
wrestling
street
moves
fights
though.
matches gotta go.
No version wrestling match.
Oh, so now swinging a chair is a wrestling move.
Yeah, it's always been a wrestling move. Take a chair, you swing. You okay, Mama? You okay? I'm sorry. I got all riled up.
Oh, my job
dog.
here is done tonight.
Our mascot is like, Mama's mad. I'm mad now too. I'm gonna go get
She's
Brucey.
holding my hand right now. Oh, she's actually shaking. She's so freaked out. I'm sorry, Mama.
Oh, poor Leia.
I've
Poor
I've
baby.
I have done my job.
Leia, if you're gonna roll with this crew, you gotta have a little thicker skin, homie. I'm just saying.
Oh, she's a gentle soul, except when it comes to
Oh,
children.
let's see. Devin said street points or street fights are on point in AEW. They haven't had a bad one yet, but WWE, not so much. That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like if you could kind of cut them out of promotions, I would go with that. Like, you know what, WWE, if you're going to be this way, then you just don't need to have a street fight ever. Just have triple threat matches or whatever, where, you know, they can do whatever the fuck they want in the building and be done with it. Where, yeah, AEWs are, you know, I mean, how about the Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the Blade, where they went down to the basement and the Butcher was cutting meat and washed his hands before getting in a street fight? Like, that was some shit. Best Friends in P&P. That was some shit. Trent's mom got to be involved. That was some shit. You know, so I couldn't get rid of street fights altogether. The one at first when Wendy brought up King of the Road, I thought she was, and maybe I'm the only one that remembers it because I have too much wrestling stuck in my head. I thought she was going to say the King of the Mountain match back from like TNA days.
Oh,
remember that? It was like a ladder match in reverse, and they had those cages that were like penalty boxes. If you got pinned, then you had to go to one of them for 2 minutes, and then somebody would hand you a title, and you would have to climb a ladder and put it up, and then you won, and then you could take it down, and you were the champion. It made no fucking sense. I'm glad it hasn't happened in a while. I hope it never happens again, because God, that was awful.
That match was no.
I will take a street fight or a death match over that bullshit any day.
That was actually a pretty fucking cool concept because it had never been done. And if you put the right people in that match, that thing would be off the chain fucking amazing.
I guess that they
not
had
like
that match.
slapping someone with fucking light tubes and dropping them in tacks.
I guess you're right.
You know what? That's the homework.
They had that match on multiple occasions, and I don't think they ever had the right people.
Match.
Right? Because they had it a few times, and it didn't seem like they ever had the right people.
King of the Mountain matches.
You know, just flashback.
It was earlier.
Popped into my head. It was just there.
I liked that match.
I just never did, man. It was like, just end this shit already. Somebody win. Like my buzz is wearing off. It's the end of the night. Somebody win.
We can definitely do without that X Division Thunderdome match where you had to crawl out the top of the cage to win.
Oh yeah, the WCW thing that was brought in.
Big dome. It was TNA. It was like a dome cage with a hole at the top.
Yeah, it started in WCW, and then TNA pretty much took it over because they were basically what was left of WCW when they started. And it was this huge dome with a little slit, and the only way you could win was to climb up the cage and get through the small hole in the top. That was just weird and terrifying at the same time, because like motherfucker loses his grip and he's dead, like your own heart.
I actually think Kazarian won the only match. They only did it once, and I think Kazarian won it.
Yeah, I can't quite remember, but yeah, that match was like scary to watch. Like, don't get me wrong, Ultimate X is like, okay, they're dangling over the ring.
Ultimate X was fucking awesome.
But that's fun. That cage
that's an awesome match.
Was just, that looked like death waiting to happen. I was like, don't do it. Don't do. Oh shit, they're doing it. Oh God, someone's going up. I can't look.
It looked like
I watched death matches. I couldn't watch that.
Dom, as a deathmatch fan, do you ever have moments where you see something gory, like more, I don't know, like not even like wrestling related, just gory in general, and you're like, oh God, like, oh, gotta look away. Then your brain's like, bro, you can watch a deathmatch, but you can't watch this shit.
Yes. My wife watches a lot of these shows where they show like surgeries happening to animals and people, and they show like the incision and they go in.
I love that show.
And all that, and when that's happening, I'm like, oh, I can't watch. And I'm thinking,
yeah,
like
okay, yeah. That I have the same effect. I was watching
Like
something with
you
Tom, and
just
it was some
watched
surgical thing.
you
and I
just
was like,
watched
oh,
Nick Gage
oh.
almost bleed to death after getting a light tube in his side, and you were like, oh shit, is he
Yes.
gonna keep going? And meanwhile,
Oh,
this is like so
no.
much tamer,
I
and
can't-
nobody's life is on the line, and you're like, I can't, I just
No.
no,
Not in the same
I'm there
way.
with you. I'm the same way. I'm totally in a death match,
Okay,
and then when it
okay.
happens someplace else, I'm like, ooh no, too real.
Like,
Like
cringe,
somehow the
cringe.
death match is not, like, oh, that's not real blood. Yeah.
I just no.
I can
No.
not
Do you know
skip
the biggest
out.
reason why? It's because Nick Gage almost killed the greatest WCW World Heavyweight Champion ever. That sick, twisted fuck.
It
Who I
was
love.
Death matches
for
is
that.
Who I
not
love.
real wrestling.
He didn't
Yes.
even get a scar.
David
Death
Arquette was
matches are
fine. He
trash.
overreacted. Even he said he didn't know what he was getting himself into. He's fine.
He knew.
That motherfucker was more popular after that match than he had ever been, especially in wrestling.
Yep.
I really want to see him have a match in AEW because he's actually gotten better.
He has gotten better.
That was
He has.
difficult to see.
He's
taking
actually
it
like
seriously.
trained now, and he's taking it seriously, and he's actually a decent wrestler. I've seen a couple of his matches, but I don't know. You got that court of public opinion, especially with wrestling fans, and it's pretty strong. I don't know if AEW said David Arquette's coming in, they'd survive that. It's bad enough when they say Mike Tyson's coming in. People go, people just, what the fuck for? David Arquette, that's a hot button, even today.
But Tyson comes with history, though, of like a questionable, sketchy past, for lack of a better description. He was accused of rape and domestic violence.
There was that too.
Whereas David Arquette has been accused of being an idiot and a fucking moron.
And there is that too. Yes. It would be hilarious if David Arquette ended up being the one taking the title from Kenny Omega all these years later. Just be a huge fuck you to wrestling fans everywhere. Like, oh, you thought this guy was unbeatable? Ha ha ha.
I'd be so mad about that. Like,
I would just
why?
lay back and watch the reactions on social media with beer and some popcorn, just laughing, just ha ha ha. Do my $1 million man laugh, just ha ha.
Damn, I'd be pissed.
And by the way, speaking of flashbacks, it is kind of cool to see Ted DiBiase on NXT. All this stuff with Cameron Grimes, all this outdoing him, outbidding him.
Cameron Grimes.
I do too, but I gotta tell you, it's another one of those things where like you put Ted with him and you put these little segments together and everything else, and it's golden. It really is. I don't know what the fuck it's leading to. I don't know if Ted's going to be his manager or he challenges Cameron Grimes to a match and says he's bringing an opponent, and that opponent happens to be his son. That sort of thing. I don't know, but
that'd be
pretty
awesome.
funny to watch, right?
That'd be awesome,
right?
I'd love to see Ted DiBiase Jr. beat the shit out of Cameron Grimes, that piece of trash.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
Oh, but Cameron Grimes is supposed to go to
the moon.
I had to throw that in there because I love
Yes.
Ted DiBiase, and he has been amazing in these segments with Cameron Grimes on NXT, and I can't get enough of that dude. He was one of the first wrestlers I ever watched as a little kid, and I'm still kind of a mark. I'm not gonna lie. Uh-oh.
What?
She's good. Nothing. I thought something was going on. My bad.
What?
Oh, I was like, what happened?
What
So I guess-
happened was.
Since we
So
got
where are we at on the rundown, Dom?
I guess we should definitely fast forward to considering that limbo we were in. And why don't we finally talk about Dynamite a little bit?
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
Because we had a very interesting show last week. And the first thing I wanted to ask you guys about, because I personally loved it, was what did you think of that moment where Anthony Ogogo just clocks Austin Gunn and he spits blood all over his chest? That's another one of those moments that I
That was
watched and I was
actually
like,
very
oh,
well done.
and then it happened somewhere else, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared. I
That
can't.
was actually very well done.
Yes.
Like Austin pulled that off very well. Usually it gets botched 99% of the time when something like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. But he pulled it off great.
But
and then
for him, yeah.
and he sold it well. And then Anthony like just mercilessly giving him that second liver shot. I was like, oh, this is hard to watch.
Austin
I like
they put on a pretty good match too.
They did. I know
props
there's
to both of them.
I know there's people out there, and yes, Devin, I did watch Clark Street, and I heard you guys talking, and I know Hafiz was on one side of it where he said, Anthony Gogo kind of relies on his boxing, and you were on the other. And I'll be honest, I'm more on Devin's side with this one because Anthony Gogo has been training to wrestle for maybe a year or so at the factory, and he is a very young, very green competitor.
No,
he's a very young, very green competitor who also happens to be an Olympic boxer. So when you think about that, now take that and move it into that realm. Any boxer that steps in a wrestling ring, what do they rely on? Their punch. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Butterbean, they all rely on their boxing because they aren't very well trained in wrestling. Anthony Ogogo will be, and he'll get there, but he's not yet. So of course he's going to rely on his boxing. I know people, and there are people like Hafiz who says, well, a body shot or a liver shot shouldn't be able to stop somebody. Have you watched a boxing match? Because if you hit somebody in the liver the right way with a boxing glove on, you will take out their legs and end that match like that.
Yep.
Like it's done. He can't. It doesn't matter if he wants to get up or not. He can't.
My question, my whole question on this whole scenario with someone being against Anthony Ogogo using his boxing background in a ring. Mm-hmm. What's any different from anyone that's ever played in the NFL that does a spear?
Right.
You look at anybody that was a professional football player and got in the ring.
Just look at Goldberg.
Was their finishing move? A spear.
Look at Goldberg. It's pretty much the only move he can do now. And it was one of two moves he could do back then. And nobody complained. But it's just like, I get where you're coming from, where Anthony Ogogo is training to be a wrestler. He wants to be a professional wrestler. So why rely on boxing? He relies on it because he hasn't been in the business that long. He hasn't been trained that long.
His finisher. It's his finishing move.
Right.
How does he rely on boxing when that's his finishing move?
But he's
boxing punches.
Even if he does, exactly. He's a boxer. So, of course, he's going to, just like a football player, usually their finishing move is a spear or they use something. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a football player. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. When he went for his clothesline, what did he do first? Get in a three-point stance and run at you. Just like he did when he played football. And he did it his whole career, and he is a WWE Hall of Famer. So, of course, Anthony Ogogo is going to rely on his boxing because he's a boxer.
So basically, Hafiz is saying that Anthony Ogogo should never throw a punch in a match.
No, he just said he shouldn't. It shouldn't be something that he relies on.
Every wrestler relies on a punch in a match. Tell me a damn match where there's no punches thrown by any type of wrestler.
True.
Boxer, football player,
even our boy Stu, when he came on here, had said, like, I don't know how you can be a professional wrestler without a good work punch. And he was saying that there were guys maybe like the Bucks or a few other people who didn't have good work punches, who were, the upper echelon of the business. Well, if anybody's got a good work punch, it's a boxer.
So basically,
he's got the foundation. He will grow. But for now, this is where he's at. I kind of like it. I really do. I'm almost rooting for him against Cody Rhodes, and Cody's breaking out the American dream for one night only.
No, I think that's permanent.
No, it's one night. It's one night because the whole story
No, it's
started
just the one
with
night he said.
Anthony Ogogo kind of bashing this country, and then Cody came out, cut the promo, and said, at Double or Nothing, he will be facing the American Dream, Cody Rhodes. And that's it. After that, he's back to being the Nightmare. But then when Ogogo, I don't know if you guys saw it, when he came out on, it was one of the YouTube shows, and he fired back with his promo, I was like, damn, I'm pretty sure you killed him on that. Like, I know Cody's was on national TV, yours was on YouTube, but you win.
When he came back with the is this the America You're Proud of promo?
Yes.
And he was talking about
Yeah, and he brought up all those terrible things. And I was like, damn, I think you just won. I mean, am I wrong, Grandma? You saw it.
I feel that to my core. I saw it and I felt it. I was like, damn.
I'm not one of these Cody bashers. I love Cody Rhodes, but damn, I think Anthony just took him on that one.
He definitely did.
And how about the blessing that we don't deserve in AEW, the kings of unscripted violence, Mox and Eddie Kingston, and their jumping of the Young Bucks, and Eddie stealing his goddamn shoes.
Eddie wears
that said you can take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the boy. I was like, damn, straight.
Any money, Eddie Kingston wears a pair of those sneakers to Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'll bet anything that's what he's gonna do.
Oh yeah,
it would be. He's
gonna be rocking them Dior Jordans to Double or Nothing to fight the Bucks. You watch.
You know what would be even better is if Moxley wore the other pair.
Oh my God, yes.
That would.
They even fit his feet.
And you know what?
They both wore them.
Watching Dynamite, and watching Eddie Kingston, these last several months, almost a year.
Box of Newports.
I've now realized that he and I have not one, but two Tupac shirts in common. So I have options for next Halloween. I promised Chris I was going to dress as Eddie Kingston for Halloween. And now I know I have options. I got a hoodie and a t-shirt, and he has both of them. So
you got the gut too, so
I don't have the gut anymore. That was the hernia.
Dom's like, you motherfucker.
Dick? Talking shit on my hernia gut. When I get healed up, no.
Like, Wendy, fire the car.
Wendy, get the tables, get the light tubes.
I'm in full heel mode tonight. I am full heel.
He is just all about the heat. All about it. I don't miss this fool now. No. I'm playing. But yeah, it was such a good show. Okay. I gotta say, I'm absolutely, and I'm loving Miro. I'm loving Miro with this TNT title on his own. Like this feels like this is the guy he was supposed to be. Yeah, like all the way back before he was Miro. This is what he was supposed to be. And this match
was just to get him on TV.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just to get him in the door, and then now we've got what we thought we were always going to get out of this man, and we've also got him and the Murder Hawk at Double or Nothing.
Oh my God! Possible show steal.
Holy shit! Like I want to see the match. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be great. I'm going to love it. If Miro loses, I might just riot. And I'm in my own house, so I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause any major structural or expensive damage, but like fucking napkins, bang! Oh, solo cups, whack! Damn these tissues, fuck! Like, I'm going to be mad as hell, but it'll still be a great match. But I'm going to be mad as hell. And
yeah,
maybe last, I don't know, but take my money for that match, says Devin. Hell yeah, $50, no problem. Take it. For that alone, take my money. And then oh man, I can't remember what I was going to bring up next, because now I just got Miro and Murder Hawk dancing through my mind.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, I gotta stop marking out. Whew, let me collect myself. Whoosah. Okay.
Wow.
Goddamn.
I'm looking
Okay.
through my notes. Well, your notes technically.
My notes, technically. So
I do have a maybe
We can,
history.
we're gonna get to that. That'll try to save for
Oh,
last.
Moose.
But we might get to that. I don't know. Fuck Moose. I don't know.
You're a Moose fan. What are you talking about?
No, I gotta be honest with you, man. Every time I try to be a Moose fan, he does something to piss me off. I'm like, you know what? I can't even. Fuck you.
So you're finally
This
agreeing
time.
with me that he's fucking trash.
I didn't say it was trash.
No, he's
I say he's
fucking
kind of an
trash.
asshole. There's an upgrade from trash to trash is here. Asshole is like here.
He's a dumpster fire walking.
An asshole can be likable.
Yes.
Just look at us three. Trash is just trash. There's
Baron
no salvage
Corbin
of
is a
trash.
dumpster fire. Moose is an asshole.
No, he's a dumpster fire walking too. They both are. They're two walking dumpster fires that don't belong in the wrestling
If
ring.
Moose does go to WWE, he could tag up with Baron Corbin. They could be the walking dumpster fires.
Bye. Go to Raw and be forgotten. Bye.
So let's flash back a little bit. Just a little. To about a week or so ago to this
Too far.
I think we're good now. This
Okay.
It goes back to a little bit of what I was talking about getting rid of, and that was go back to while we were away, the whole thing started about setting the wrestling business back 30 years. We had Blood and Guts go off, and then WWE, whoever from the McMahon office or WWE brass saying that match set the business back 30 years. Within a few days, Backlash comes up. The Miz and Damian Priest are in a lumberjack match with zombies.
Yes.
Zombies. The undead.
I'm gonna steal
Zombies.
something.
Two of them
Yes.
were killed. One of them
gonna-
is still somehow alive. And you can try to say, well, it was just one time. It was one match. It was because of this, because of that. Let's flash back again. Backlash last year. Remember how we were going to get that tag match between the Street Profits and the War Raiders for the tag titles? And what happened? Ninjas.
God, they
Oh my
were
God.
eating
No.
fucking turkey
In a
legs
year.
and ninjas.
Squid.
In a
Dumpster
year.
squid.
Dumpster squid.
Dumpster squid.
And
Remember?
ninjas.
Yes.
Both. So in a year, we have had ninjas, dumpster squid, and zombies. And you want to talk about somebody setting the business back 30 years? I'm gonna tell you like my mama used to tell me. People who live in glass houses should not throw fucking stones.
Nope. Don't do that. Mm-mm.
And then of course it
And-
prompted Chris Jericho to say that match at Backlash just set the business back 30 years. And again, it's like instead of Jericho bashing them, WWE bashing it, how about you just get your shit together? How about you just say, this is a stupid fucking idea. It didn't work last year. It's not going to work this year. Let's just not fucking do it.
How can I'm gonna ask? How can zombies follow the rules of a lumberjack match when they're
That's the
Zombies.
burning question, really. Is like how, like zombies, they just walk wherever, eat whatever, do whatever the fuck they want, right? So how do they know to stand around the ring and just wait there, being all undead and shit? I don't know if anybody watches The Walking Dead, but they're known on that show as walkers. You know what they weren't doing during that match? Walking.
Wait,
They were just they were standers. They were just
Why couldn't they just have real lumberjacks and then after the match when Priest shot his imaginary arrow, the zombies crashed the ring?
That could have worked too.
A
That
lot
would've been
better
better.
than a lot better
We also
than
had
the
another-
zombies that know the rules.
But
of
we
the
also had
lumberjack
another
match.
we also had another like Money in the Bank moment where these guys got thrown off the roof and the next day they were there. Morrison basically
Right
got
back. Yeah.
killed. Morrison was eaten by zombies. On Monday, he was in a lumberjack match. The very not
He was back
23
on
hours
Monday?
late. He was back. He was in a lumberjack match with Damian Priest.
That is insulting the intelligence of wrestling fans.
So again, instead of just bashing each other for the stupid shit that you might do, get your shit together. You're both on national TV. You're both worth oodles of money. You have some of the top talent in wrestling, bar none. Get your shit together.
So
I don't care if you're AEW. I don't care if you're
they're basically going to
WWE.
leave the Miz off TV.
Well, they have to now because he hurt his ACL during that match too. Probably when the zombies were rolling on him.
Yeah.
First injury ever.
Well, that's
in his
what I was getting
wrestling
ready to
career.
say. So they're basically going to keep Miz off TV. They're going to keep him off TV.
I'm sure if he
because
was
tore
healthy,
his ACL and has to have surgery or whatnot.
if he was healthy, he'd have been
but
back on Monday.
He's basically dead.
But he's dead. But so was Morrison. And
how do you?
Yeah, he's dead.
Next day.
How do you? How are they? Oh.
And that's the thing. We had, if you recall, we had Devin
on.
We had Devin on last year after Backlash, and we did a review of it. And there was a lot of awful in that between the greatest wrestling match, the Ninjas, the Squid. But there were still some good matches on that card. And the same thing could have been said about it this year. But the rest of it is so god awful. And the build to it is just like, why are we doing this? So by the time you get to the pay-per-view, you don't really care. Like, I got to tell you that triple threat match that like Asuka and Rhea and Charlotte had was amazing. They practically stole the fucking show. But unfortunately, the zombies did that. Bar none, because nobody was talking. There were many more people talking about zombies that night and ever since than that triple threat. And that's sad because it was great. Even Bianca was great. Yep. Like there were some damn good matches, some damn good moments, but all anybody's talking about is zombies. Just like Blood and Guts, it was damn good. It was damn good card. It was a damn good match, but all anybody talked about was the fall and the crash pad.
Yep.
So
that is
instead of wasting your time bashing each other after you may or may not have fucked up, allegedly, get your shit together. Figure out the right camera angle. Skip the zombies. I don't care if the damn show is sponsored by Batista's movie and Batista did the intro for the pay-per-view. I don't give a shit. There's no point to zombies. Halloween Havoc, when Grimes fought Dexter Loomis in that House of Horrors match, which, yes, I know, bad name. When they popped zombies out for that, it made sense. It was fucking Halloween. It was a House of Horrors match. There was a man named Grimes being chased by zombies. Anybody that watches that show immediately loved it. I did. And I don't even like Cameron Grimes that much.
On you.
It made sense. It made sense. Backlash made no sense whatsoever at all. There was no point to it, and you took away from what was actually a pretty good pay-per-view, especially with the expectations going in. It was a very good one. But nobody gave a shit. You know why? Zombies. Just like last year, Drew and Bobby tore the house down at Backlash. All anybody talked about were the Ninjas, the Squid, and the greatest wrestling match ever. And how it wasn't. So why take away from somebody's amazing effort with all this bullshit?
Yeah.
You know what, Doug? I don't think it was $1 million. I'm pretty sure it was a lot more than just that. Because Vince would be like, $1 million? Are you high? I wipe my ass with $1 million.
Yeah, seriously. He just made $1 billion off Peacock for nothing because they won't put the content out. If they offer $1 million, he'd be like,
but that's it?
Well, they got to come harder than that.
Nah.
They got to come harder than that.
No. Nope. Big no.
And even if it's like, you know what, we'll throw some zombies in the back, they'll eat some jobbers or somebody that isn't that important. You know, like Tozawa ain't doing shit. You're getting eaten by zombies.
Why?
So they can promote a movie, make some money.
Why is that's another thing. Why is Tozawa even in WWE?
Contract. Contract 205 Live. The 24/7 title. I got outside of that, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Cool.
You asked the question. I was trying to come up with an answer, homie. That's all I got.
I got you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That was the thing that happened. and it's like, get your shit together. Because I don't feel like coming on here one day and just calling you like World Wrestling bullshit or All Elite bullshit.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Stop with the bullshit.
Yep.
Flat out.
Yep.
Because even if they got money for it this year, last year, how much they get to put Squid and Ninjas and that bullshit greatest wrestling match on? Nothing. They did it anyway.
Neither the Squid nor the Ninjas were used as promotional material either.
Nope.
They were just there.
Nope.
That was it. That was the fuck it.
That was just it. Hey, we don't need the Street Profits and the Viking Experience Raiders, whatever you. I know they're back.
The Viking Raiders Experience. Oh, they are back?
Yeah, they've been back.
Yes, they've returned.
Yeah, they've been back for like a few months. They done been back,
yo.
But I know they're back now. But like, no, we don't need that match. We need Ninjas and Squid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fuck for.
Because Ninjas wrestling are show, cool. Right?
This is a wrestling show.
Ninjas are cool, bro.
I didn't turn into Backlash Mortal Kombat.
Tag team champ right now. One of them's a tag champ right now. So, and Ninjas rule, dog. What? You missed me, didn't you?
One of them's a tag team champ. Allegedly. We never knew who was underneath that mask. I know it looks.
Oh, we know.
But they never said officially.
We know it was Shinsuke under that mask.
Of course it was. What else they got for him? Poor guy. There's a guy going back to it. There's a guy that I thought was going to get a match with the tribal chief, but lo and behold, no. And thinking a recent interview, he said he's still getting used to working WWE and in the United States. And I was like, are you though?
You know who we forgot to put on the Mount Rushmore of WCW? Just real quick, because I just saw something. And how can we forget Buff the Stuff Bagwell?
Pretty easily. The hat, I'll never forget. Buff. Buff Daddy.
The stuff.
I mean, he was a very big part of WCW, but he would not even like I put Scott Steiner on as the fourth. Then it would be Booker T. And then there's probably 6 or 7 other guys, and then maybe the 10th or 11th is Buff Bagwell.
Maybe if I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, maybe. You know, like I might even put
a joke.
I might even put Lex Luger above him, and I hate Lex Luger. Like I always have. I always will.
Though, important question. Buff Bagwell, Mount Rushmore, with or without the hat?
Oh, hat or nothing. No hat.
Yeah, it's all hat or no.
It's hat or nothing. Buff was not Buff without the hat. Before the hat, he was Marcus Bagwell. He wasn't even Buff. When he became Buff Daddy, he wore the hat.
And
that's when his career took off.
Here's the real important question. Buff Bagwell or NWO Buff Bagwell?
NWO Buff Bagwell.
NWO.
Yeah. NWO with the hat would be the only way he qualifies at all. Otherwise, I'm putting Stunning Steve Austin above you. No lie.
Yes. Stunning Steve.
No, I mean, like, honestly, Booker T would have been above him. Chris Jericho would have been above him. Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero would have been above him.
Trash.
Oh, yeah.
He never made anything of himself.
That poor guy. What did he ever do in this business?
Jericho. That guy, what the hell happened to him? Yeah, exactly.
That name sounds familiar, but
I don't know.
Wait, did you say Geritol?
Was he? I think he might have been at an indie show you went to.
Wait, are you talking about that Christian guy in AEW that's outworking everybody?
He must have been like completely different.
Same dude? No,
I think so. I don't know.
No, but in all seriousness, the real Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle did it. That's what popped out of my head. Finally accepted the Stadium Stampede match, and if they lose, that's it.
They're over.
You really think so?
Yes, it needs to be.
I don't know, man. I think we're headed for a rubber match. I really do. I think they're going to win it. They're going to win the Stadium Stampede, and then we're going to have some other kind of crazy match down the line. Because AEW is all about this like slow build.
No, absolutely. But what's a
Because
bigger?
they'll have a third match, and in that third match, the loser has to break up. Done.
You can't do
Because
that
what
2
was their
matches
first,
in a row.
wait,
Their
It's gonna go
first match
from
was blood
what
and
was their
guts.
first match?
no. This I
Blood
mean
and
the
guts.
second match. This upcoming Stadium Stampede. If the Inner Circle loses, they're done. The next match will be the loser, regardless of whether it's the Inner Circle or the Pineapple, as Jericho's been calling them, or the
What's up with him
Pinochle,
and pineapples?
or the Pinochle, as my wife calls them, which is
Okay.
fucking hilarious. I'm like, how do you even know Pinochle? I'm older than you, and I didn't even know that shit until you said it. But
I know
There's-
Pinochle.
well, you're a
They're-
Well, I
grandma.
know Pinochle. How do you not know
They're the
Pinochle?
best faction ever.
Because
that
I'm not
hit wrestling.
Grandpa Dom. That's why. I play video games. Fuck Pinochle. But yeah, the Pinochle has now had their challenge accepted, and we will have the Stadium Stampede. But I don't see. I'll be honest. I don't see the Inner Circle losing this shit. I don't. I see a rubber match. I don't see them losing 2 straight Stadium Stampede matches. I just don't.
No, it's over. Santana and Ortiz are going to go to the tag division and be the team that they're supposed to be. Hager's got to. Hager has a Bellator fight coming up.
He's been doing that.
He's only had 1 fight, and that was in freaking year 1 and like the second week of the show of AEW.
COVID did slow them down a bit, though.
Well, he supposedly has a match coming up.
Right.
Jericho just needs to go to the commentary table and send Excalibur pack into friggin' Rampage.
That's another thing.
Sammy just needs to start going after the TNT title.
There's so much
TBS title
there's so much that's happened while we were on our little, forced break, and that was another thing. The AEW is getting another hour on TV. They're going to have Rampage Friday nights in August, starting immediately after SmackDown, and then next year, Dynamite will move to TBS.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's be honest, I think it's a good move because there's a lot of times where Dynamite's either taken off the day or moved or rescheduled because of NBA games or whatever the hell TNT's got going on. And every time that happens, my question is always, why don't they just put them on TBS? What are they showing? Like reruns of Family Guy for the 7th straight day? Like just move them to TBS. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but why put Dynamite off when you could just, put Family Guy off for 1 goddamn night? I've probably seen the episode anyway. I've seen them all. All! Twice. But at least it'll keep them, in a consistent time slot. They won't be moved around for damn near anything except maybe March Madness because TBS gets a few of those games here and there. But the rest of the year is theirs, and I don't know.
Quarterly specials.
Do you guys think
TNT?
I know this is something we debated a little bit when we first found the news out, but I'll ask it anyway. Do you think it's a good idea for AEW to be putting a show on after SmackDown on a Friday night? Like we're talking
absolutely
10 p.m. start time.
Absolutely.
I mean, no, it's an hour.
Absolutely.
You think so? Why do you think so?
Hell yeah, because you got all these people that watch SmackDown and they want to continue watching wrestling after. But all you got to do is click the button. They're not interfering with WWE, so why would WWE interfere with them?
Okay.
It's smart. If it's only an hour, oh my God, it's so smart.
I'll be honest with you. Normally, when I was home, I would watch MLW Fusion on YouTube and then go to Dynamite because it was just like, 3 awesome hours of wrestling in one night. And I could definitely see it happening with like SmackDown immediately into Rampage, but we're talking the difference being like Fusion comes on at 7, Dynamite ends at 10. SmackDown comes on at 8 and Rampage ends at 11. Just might be pushing it a little bit. Just
why not? Motherfucker,
I think even that might have been Wendy's point. That might have been Wendy's point to begin with. That you also make a great point. But that might have been Wendy's point to begin with. Like it starts at 10. So that could be a potential
that was me
problem.
that said something. I think that was me.
Oh, was it you?
I think it
was
was
one
me.
of you.
No, it was me and you guys defended the start time. You did?
The other thing is,
No, I
you know,
definitely did not
if
defend the
you,
start time. I was like, bro, 10 o'clock.
but you know, I'm playing
Says
devil's
me who's
advocate
still up at
first.
10 o'clock tonight.
I'm playing devil's advocate first, but to come back, you know, to the other side, if you start a show at 10 p.m., there's a lot of shit you can get away with on TV because the censors, you know, the censorship and stuff, like the level comes way down. Like there's a lot of shows I watch on FX that start at 10, and there is a lot of shit you won't see and hear on any other show. Like all the way back, there was that old show Rescue Me that started like Dennis Leary, and it was nothing but just drugs and curse words and sex and firefighting, and I was like, damn, how do they put this on TV? And it was like, oh, because it starts at 10. You can practically do anything on television after 10 p.m. You can murder someone on live TV as long as it's 10:01.
But no, it makes sense. Like I said, if wrestling fans can sit down and tolerate 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, they can watch 3 hours of really good wrestling on Friday night. Because that's pretty much what it's going to be. Because SmackDown's been on fire.
Brian's saying, yeah, I'm absolutely excited. And Dynamite going to TBS. Oh, hell yeah. All right. Should they do like a TBS like traditional time? Be like, oh, we start promptly at 8:05.
What if?
Is that too traditional for AEW, or do we?
What if this pushes WWE to make SmackDown 3 hours?
Oh God, please no. Please no.
Wendy, my sentiments. But
don't give them a piece.
But remember, they're not competition. So
they said that when they put NXT on Wednesdays after AEW announced their time slot.
Again, if you believe Triple H, the war was imaginary. They were not competition. So again, if this is what WWE says, then I just want you to back that shit up. Because you have a good show on Friday nights. Let it be a good show. Don't try to put another hour into it. Don't give Brother Love a chance to fuck it up. Just do it. Just do it the way it's been done, the way it's being done week after week, and let somebody keep enjoying. Let me keep enjoying it. Let fans keep enjoying it. Don't try to add another hour or go head to head or whatever the fuck. Especially when you sit here and every chance you get say, "Oh no competition." See, we had Jericho and Broken Skull. There's no competition.
Yeah. Word.
If that's true, then back up your shit. The same goes for AEW. Oh no, we're not in competition, but we're gonna bash WWE every chance we get. Okay, just stop.
Devin, you don't want 3 hours of the Tribal Chief on Friday nights? I thought you'd be ecstatic.
See, he's with me on this.
Right?
Tribal Chief gets enough time, man. Eventually, somebody else. Eventually, the Tribal Chief's got to rest. You know, he's out there at the top of the show. He's in the main event. They're cutting to him backstage in between. Like, he's a busy man. You don't want to give him another hour's worth of responsibilities.
See, here's the thing. Every generation that has where there's been a guy that's the face of WWE always had an amazing person across the ring from him. i.e., Bret Hart had Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Stone Cold had The Undertaker.
Rock,
Stone Cold had The Rock.
Even Booker T.
Look, as much as Wendy's going to freaking shake her head and cuss, you had John Cena versus CM Punk. Mm-hmm. Those are the two of that generation. Look, all we have now is what? Roman? He's never gonna be on those guys' level. He doesn't have a top face to
I
go
get what you're
against
saying.
him.
I get what you're saying. And that's why, Daniel Bryan was in the picture. That's why Edge was in the picture. And honestly, I think Devin mentioned it in the chat and I mentioned it afterward. I think that's what they're trying to build a guy like Big E up to be. That face character that can hang with Roman, that can be that Punk or that Cena to CM Punk or whatever the fuck.
Big E's good. He'll probably have a title run, but he's not built for that mold in WWE. I personally don't think so. I don't think he could
I
be
do.
that guy. Not on a constant basis and have friggin' 17, 18, 25 big giant matches with
But that's what
Roman.
if you just look at Big E, he's great on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a ton of charisma. He's got an amazing physique. He can go in the ring. He's got everything that you would look for in a top guy. He just needs to mature to that level. And he was never going to get there as part of the New Day as good as that was. Going out on his own, he's actually gotten a lot better. And he's probably going to keep getting better. And he's probably going to develop into that guy because, like you brought up CM Punk. CM Punk was not CM Punk until he was CM Punk. And then all of a sudden he was a big fucking deal. Before then, he was Straight Edge Society. He was champ for 22 seconds. He was ECW guy.
Straight Edge Society came.
He was the leader of the Nexus.
The Straight
Even
Edge
CM
Society
Punk wasn't
came
CM
in
Punk.
between title runs. That was in between title runs. That wasn't before.
Yeah,
before he was in the when he first showed up, he was in the shitty fucking ECW.
That's what I'm saying. He went from shitty ECW to Straight Edge Society to leader of the Nexus, like crap level. And then he sat down on a stage, and all of a sudden he came out on his own, and now he's CM Punk, and now he's up there with John Cena. But before that, he was not. So you have to let these guys do something to mature. You can't just keep them in these at the same level as part of groups and mid cards and everything else, or else there is no CM Punk for John Cena. So could Big E be that guy for Roman Reigns?
No.
Yeah, I think he could.
No.
Absolutely. Given the opportunity, yeah. Just like give CM Punk the opportunity, and all of a sudden he's the guy on the posters, and he's the guy with the title, and he's the one main eventing with John Cena, where he was not doing that before.
Big E will stay in the Intercontinental area, mid-card. He'll get a title shot here and there. He may get a run, but he's going to be like The Miz. He's going to be like The Miz.
I could see that happening.
And it's not me saying that he couldn't be, but he's not a face of the company type guy. He's not a face of WWE type guy. He's not what they're going to look for. He's not what Vince is going to look for as a face of the company. He's too much. He's still too much of a comedy act, and that's just how
right now.
I love Big E.
Right now,
I love Big E, but no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't know
to
where that arc. He hasn't hit that top of that arc yet. He has been out on his own since pretty much the draft, like less than a year, and he's actually come a long way in that time. And who knows where he'll be by next year. That's why guys like Devin and me have said, if there isn't this whole thing with The Rock coming back and everything else, Big E's probably going to be in the main event at WrestleMania next year against Roman Reigns.
I said he'd get title shots, but he's not going to be the John Cena of the WWE. He's not going to be that huge baby face that Cena was. He's not going to be that guy.
I don't know, man. The kids love him already.
He's not going to be that guy to Roman. It's not. It's going to be somebody
that rep,
else.
Though.
Dude, for all we know, it could be fucking Jimmy Uso that's going to be that guy.
That would be crazy. That's what I mean. When you look at where the two of them are, where we stand right now, Big E is leaps and bounds ahead.
2 years ago, 2 years ago, when Kofi won his title, we said he was going to be a main event player from here on out. Where the fuck's he been since he lost the title?
True. But in all fairness, I did not say that.
Same type of gimmick as Big E.
I said Kofi was going to get his run, and it was going to be cool, and then he was going to slip back down to the level he was at, and that's pretty much how that shit happened. Actually, I was glad he got his run. It was a great run. I was upset about the way it ended. But
Bryan just said the man that should be that fucking face.
And Keith Lee. Is that?
Keith Lee.
But where is he?
He's hurt. He's been hurt.
You got to be in a ring to get hurt.
He's been hurt.
Did he get hurt at home?
I think.
Did he blow out a knee ligament while getting on one knee to ask Mia Yim to marry him? Like, what happened?
I think if Big E is able to break away from the comedic side. Because I mean that promo he cut on Apollo about like I've never forgotten where I came from. That was a solid ass promo.
Yes, it was.
And there was
Hell yes,
nothing
it was.
comedic about it. It was serious. And it definitely
was
harkened
beautiful.
back to those preacher roots he has because of his father, you know.
Yeah.
But I think if he's able to break away from the comedy and quit being such a little like yes,
a
be a
teenager.
face, have
If he
fun,
can
but
go-
don't be a joke.
If
I
he
think
can go
stand a
from,
chance.
if he can do like John Cena did, where he went from the doctor of thugonomics and these nuts and all that shit to what he
That was the
became.
best version.
Mhm.
I know it was, but it wasn't exactly the face of the company type version that he needed to be. If Big E could do that and kind of be a little bit more serious while keeping that foundation that he already built, he could be on that Cena level too. It's not that far of a leap.
Yeah.
I know you think it is, but again, like Wendy said, with that promo and with some of the stuff that he's done, you can see it in him. It's there. Will it come out? I don't know. It's another one of those things that you got to say wait for, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. Like,
It's right there. It wants to come out.
and I do agree with Keith Lee. I agree with Bryan, but unlike Keith Lee, nobody's telling Biggie that he can't do this and he can't do that and trying to change what he is and everything. They're saying be you, but grow. Where Keith Lee, it's like, oh, you can't wear this to the ring. You can't come down to this music. You can't fly from the top rope. You can't use this move anymore. You have to go back to the PC for more training. Well, then what the fuck did you bring him up for in the first place? That's not happening with Big E. That's happening with Keith Lee. Long before the injury. Long before. And so I could see them doing that with Keith Lee, or I could see them doing that with Big E. Sorry. I could not see them doing that with Keith Lee right now. I'd love to, because I love the fucking guy. I think he's a tremendous talent. I just don't see him doing it. Like when they said, you know, who's going to be Bobby Lashley's next opponent after Backlash? My first thought was Keith Lee. And then my next thought was, but it's probably going to be Drew McIntyre again. Which is fine. They have great matches, but it's going to be Drew McIntyre again, y'all.
But that's the thing is like Bobby Lashley has his Rock and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. And they're going to have to build somebody because they've been basically running through, you know, veterans and fan favorites, you know, giving them the one last run, whether it be Edge or Daniel Bryan. They're going to have to come up with somebody now because obviously they tried Cesaro and Cesaro got beaten harder than anyone that's ever been kicked out of the Bullet Club ever. Ever. Like that shit is a walk in the park compared to what Cesaro got at the end of Backlash. It was sad.
Here's the thing: Cesaro could have been that guy, and I only say that because there's been everybody for so many fucking years has said Cesaro needs a push. He needs to be there. He should be in a title picture.
Yep. And just
then they
like
do
that
to him. That's some disrespect.
He got in and he got kicked right the fuck out, literally. And the reason they did it goes back to your point. They don't have that guy for Roman yet. So they had to have somebody, and they figured everybody talks about Cesaro getting a push. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to see Cesaro in the title picture. Get in on it now, because it's probably never going to happen again.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, I'm telling you, the beating he took was horrendous. It was like from Roman, from the Usos, from Seth, just. It was like they were. It was like back in the day when I got in trouble in my neighborhood and my neighbors used to start beating my ass, and they would beat my ass all the way home. And then when I got home, my parents would beat my ass. It was that bad, like just fucked up throughout the whole neighborhood. Just everybody took a turn. Like neighbors' kids were kicking my ass just because they could, because nobody would stop them. It was like, damn, homie, I thought we were friends. Like that was Cesaro at the end of Backlash. Hundo P, son. Since when you won't say it, I will, goddammit.
Hundo P, son. Hundo P.
Word.
Yeah, even Devin's saying they keep saying health concerns for Keith Lee, and that might be true, but it's not like he was getting pushed to the moon before these health concerns popped up either.
True.
I mean, he couldn't even get a win over Bobby for the U.S. title. You're going to put him in with Bobby for the WWE title and say he can win? Now, granted, I know Morrison was involved and he probably won't. Or what? It might have been Riddle. I don't remember. I don't remember. I'll be honest. Unprepared psycho. Sorry. But if he couldn't get a win for the U.S. title, he's going to take the WWE title?
Yeah.
I mean, they were fucking up with Keith Lee from jump. Whereas with Big E, they seem to have him on. Well, that's the point. With Big E, they seem to have him on the right track, headed up. And so I could see him being that guy next year at WrestleMania that's on that level against Roman Reigns in the main event. Because I'll be honest, I don't know who the hell on SmackDown could take the title from Roman Reigns.
Aleister Black.
Probably not. I mean, I'd like it.
Them having good matches.
It'd be great, but probably not. Just to keep it real, you know.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking say it. Chad fucking Gable.
Oh my god, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
My God, there's our Kurt Angle. Everyone wants the second coming of Kurt Angle. He's already there.
He's fucking there.
He's generation's Kurt Angle.
They had that moment. They had that moment where they could have just said, this guy is Kurt Angle's son, and people would have probably loved it. And then they chose to go another route, and it didn't work so well. There's another flashback moment we can put into this episode.
I seriously think if Jason Jordan didn't get hurt, there was going to be something down the line where Chad Gable was actually Kurt Angle's son and Jordan was not.
That's what I always thought
they were going to add some like kayfabe shoot angle to the story where Gable comes in and says, "You're not really his son, I am."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that happening, but sadly it never did. And poor Jason Jordan, man, people hated him for that shit. And it was like, give him a break, guys. He's doing what he can do. Like, he's not that bad. Yeah, we fucking hate him anyway. Okay.
He's doing his job, y'all.
And then he broke his freaking neck.
Oh, poor guy. Poor guy.
And now he's
just like his dad.
There's yet another, just like his dad, yes.
Another angle with a broken freaking neck.
With a broken freaking neck. The irony just drips from that statement. Just falls like rain. But I think that's almost all that we have in the since we have this flashback moment. I just wanted to, my final thought, I wanted to give you, since we're not going to be here, this day in history moment, since we're a few days away. May 25th. It is a big day for many reasons. For one, this coming May 25th will be the 50-year anniversary of Star Wars: A New Hope debuting in theaters. That's a big freaking deal, at least for me. I don't know if you see all the Star Wars pops behind me, but that's a big fucking deal. I'm kind of a nerd. The other reason it's a big deal is because 3 years ago, AEW debuted with Double or Nothing on May 25th. The other reason it's a big deal to me is because 10 years ago, my son was born. So since I'm not going to be here, and since I actually let him watch this show, because I'm probably not a great parent, but he does love it, and he does sit here and wave at Tia Wendy and Unky Bruce, and it's cute. He's probably going to see this. So happy birthday to my little psycho DJ. Daddy loves you. I'm proud of you. I don't give a shit. Keep doing what you do. You're already a champ. You're a champ in group. You're a champ in life. You're just a fucking champ. I know I got 20. You can kick my ass. Happy birthday, kiddo. Everybody out there, have a great night. Do we have any final thoughts from Brucey, Wendy? Who wants to do social media?
I have something I want to share. I want to plug something real quick.
Go ahead. Cheap pop.
Wherever you listen to music, Spotify, Apple, it is available. Check it out.
I know what
My
you're
man
doing.
Jason Griff, Fireside Chats. It is awesome. Check it out.
Listening.
I was driving to work yesterday while blasting it very loudly. I may have passed a priest or two, and I did not care.
I was listening to it this morning, taking my wife to work. It is a damn good album. There are a few
It is hella awesome.
there are a few
Oh,
tracks that
yeah.
feature a certain artist that we love and had on this show and that we miss. So definitely, please go check out Jason Griff on Spotify. Listen to
check out
Fireside
other stuff
Chats.
as
Support
well.
this man.
312 is another great album. I definitely enjoyed that. And check out the stuff he did with Scorsese. Ode to Camp Low.
Midnight
awesome
Express
one.
in general. That album.
That whole album was fire.
Album is
Everything Griffin Scorsese is just mwah. So
but check out this new one. It's amazing. Fireside Chats.
You look
Don't miss it.
You look for Jason Griff on Spotify or Insubordinate Records. Probably got you there too.
On Apple Music as well, if that's where you listen to Apple Music. Just about anywhere really. You can even check it out on YouTube. You can find him there. Jason Griff with 2 Fs. Check him out.
Yep,
that's
definitely
my plug.
Check him out. Okay, Brucey, you got any final thoughts, or you just want to hit us with the social media so we can dip?
Death matches should be banned. MJF is a wrestling god, and
he is muted. I warned you.
Damn.
You can unmute yourself when you're ready.
Son of a bitch, cocksucker.
I told you.
You can do the fucking social medias now.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please come and follow us on our social medias. That's where a lot of these questions came from. We love to build these shows around you. You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are a public group. Just invite yourself, get in on our pick forums, get in on our discussion threads, and you have free reign to post anything you want about wrestling, including we have a lot of other podcasters that post their episodes there too. So it's a one-stop hub. You can just come in and say, oh, there's Top Rope, there's Clark Street, there's Dirty Heels, there's Straight Talk. It's a great group. It's got a lot of great members. We have a lot of great discussions. It's not your average group by far. So
Nope.
Check that out. You can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We have well over 200 followers at this point, including a lot of the podcasts that I mentioned, a lot of wrestlers from the Neon Ninja, Jesse Goddard's, Alex Hammerstone. The list goes on and on and on and on. I'm trying to get back on there a little bit more. Things have been obviously hectic for me and a little crazy lately, but I will be hitting it a little harder. You can also find us on Instagram at this long-ass name Brucey came up with, at top_rope_wrestling_talk. Definitely hit us up there. You can see some of our funny memes, some of our clips, some of our GIFs. It's good stuff. We definitely need to put some more work into that too. But I'm sure Wendy and I will get on it. We had a plan at one point, and then the plan went out the window when I got hurt. So we'll backtrack. We'll regroup. We'll get that going. And if you want to buy any of our TRWT shirts or hoodies or mugs or masks or anything,
or just merch,
anything merch related, you can find us in 2 places. At Facebook, search for TRWT merch, find the page, message the merch maker, tell her I want a shirt, and she's going to give you all the options, all the colors, everything. We have a ton of logos, ton of options. You can even get our nicknames on the back of the shirt if you'd like. We have coffee mugs, masks, everything, even kids clothes, women's clothes. We got them. Go to TRWT merch on Facebook. Mugshot. Or you can find us at TRWT_merch on Instagram. And also you can message our merch maker through there and try to order something, get a coffee mug, get a mask, get a shirt, get a hoodie. We may, I don't know, I'd have to check with Kirby, but we may still have the Brody Lee tribute shirt. We've got a bunch of stuff. It's hard to keep track of it all. I am eventually going to get back on making a website too, guys. I know. I'm sorry. I'm extremely behind in life. So and being laid up for a month will do that to you. But we will get it. We will get all that. But that's pretty much everything. Like our merches, our social medias, please come find us, come talk to us, come ask us questions. We'll use them on the show. And if you want to listen to us on our internationally acclaimed audio podcast platforms, I believe Grandma Wendy can tell you where you need to go for that.
Yes.
I can. You can check us out wherever podcasts are distributed. So you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can find us on YouTube, Fox Den Productions. From there, you can find not just Top Rope Wrestling Talk. You can also find Once Drunk Upon a Time, which was generic. We're talking about all things, everything.
Yeah.
And Mutant Rejects, which was all things nerd. So, I'm sorry, Leah, I keep hitting you.
Definitely. All things like Marvel, X-Men, you name it.
Yes.
All of which were fun. Drunk Upon a Time was very fun. I just haven't been in the mood or in the shape to get drunk and tell stories. So that will be back.
We'll have to catch back up with that at some point.
Yeah. Maybe we'll tweak it a little bit. Maybe we'll come up with some other, not so Drunk Upon a Time. And the three of us will just sit here and talk shit about life. It'll be fun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And and you can find us on iHeartRadio, but you have to actually search for us. We come up. Everything else can be found at anchor.fm/TRWT. All of our other platforms outside of iHeartRadio. If you want to find us there, a lot of people have, and we appreciate it. Just go to iHeart and search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk, and we will pop up. You can follow us there. You can catch all our episodes. There's a lot of YouTube content that is exclusive. So if you love the audio podcast, definitely come check out Fox Den Productions, because there's a lot more on, a lot of clips, a lot of specials, a lot of things that we didn't put out as audio podcasts, y'all. So it pays to follow and subscribe to both.
Word.
It sure does.
Right. So,
dear moms,
with all that finally being said, everybody have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Get your shots. Second one went in the arm on Tuesday.
The 4th.
I'm fully caught up. Wendy and I got a full card, and we're ready to rock. Brucey's going to be there on the 4th.
Yeah.
And until next time, goodbye. Mwah. Thank you, Leia.
Damn, you done pissed her off.
That's puppy for Stay Fresh cheese bags is what that is.
Stay fresh, Dad.
See? And good night.
Deuces, yo.
Bye.